So
one thing that we're starting to see, and I see it in other places, not just here at Dolphin, but I see it on the internet. Cars are getting so expensive, and everybody knows this. Cars are it's outrageous. It's not even fair. It's not right. So people are actually turning classic cars into daily drivers, like Stephanie's age, maybe younger, because you said you were 40. I can't believe you told us that. Anyway, squirrel.
you're only 44.
I know, but usually women kind of keep their age to themselves.
Man, I don't care. I look good for 40, so I'm not going to cry.
She's an open book. I've learned this already.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so this lady in California, I believe, she's a lot younger, and she daily drives like a 67 Coronet or something.
Yeah.
Every day. She's like, this is my daily. She's like, it's cheaper for me to buy this, fix this all the time, and drive it. She's like, I drive it on the freeway. It doesn't matter. This is so much cheaper. And she's like, I think it's cooler than a new car. She's like, and I think she had like 20 grand into it.
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, she's had it for a while.
Yeah.
So fixing things.
Over time.
And talk about fixing things. Remember I showed you, did I show you that video? There's a video out there. I don't remember what kind of car it was, but they had to change the starter. They had to pull a cab to change the starter.
Yes.
That's insanity to me.
Yeah.
And I think people realize, like, hey, I got to take my car to the shop. And Stephanie knows I got to take my car to the shop, and they're gonna just completely run over me and charge me for zip ties that have.
You're gonna get had.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And people was like, I just want an easy life. Like, they're like, oh, I like cars, but they end up kind of becoming a slave to their car because they're so expensive, and then they got to keep them running. Yeah, and then they're 10 grand upside down on them after a year.
Well, we've seen, Chris, that people are starting to do. I've got a customer named Todd who's got a 4-door Impala.
Yep.
An 80s model. They're not afraid of doing 4 doors. If they can get that look, that something, whatever, they don't mind now that it's got a 4-door, because the Charger came in and brought horsepower to a 4-door sedan, kind of opened the window for a lot of people to say, hey, I've got a fast 4-door.
I will say the millennial generation, they like 4 doors.
They accept it.
Yeah, they like it. They're like, I got kids. They gotta get in the back. It's easier for 4 doors. I don't believe in that 2 doors too many thing.
Is it the Durango that has got a
SUV,
Hellcat?
right?
Yeah, and that's a 4-door, and Holland, that's all-wheel drive and stuff. So certainly you can get now horsepower in a new car that has 4 doors. You don't have to buy a Challenger. You don't have to buy the Mustang or the Camaro.
Yeah. Well, and going back to that lady who has, I'm guessing it's like 20 grand in that car, right? Well, you say that kind of high. Well, what's the alternative?
No, right.
What's the alternative? Going to spend $60,000 on something that's junk?
On a car that's going to depreciate. When you buy this car, I bought a Maverick not too long ago. It needs an engine training. I got one and whatever, but I bought it for $4 grand. It's a solid car. Even if you went to Jasper online, Blue Star, whatever, and you bought an engine and a transmission and you had it put it in. Okay, so you'd be around. I said I could do this and sell it for 12 and make somebody a fun little car. You could do it. You didn't have it done for 15 grand. Absolutely. And have a very reliable, dependable daily driver that's not going to ever depreciate.
Absolutely. And here's the thing: most car payments, I think they said the average car payments now is around $750, $800 a month. Now you take that same. Yeah, but then and people will sit there and say, "Well, my car's more reliable and I don't have to fix it." I was like, if I put $600 in 6 months into my car, how much more money have I saved over your $750, $800 a month car payment?
You know, one thing that bugs me or whatever is when I go by an apartment complex and I see a brand new badass car. I don't care if it's an Audi A8 or if it's a sports car, Corvette, something, whatever. But you live in an apartment and you've got a $100,000 car out front. I'm like, this is bass backwards to me.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
shaking babies and kissing hands. It just doesn't make sense. So
you had something you were going to throw in there?
Yeah, I just spent 60 grand on a vehicle, and I will say, I love my vehicle, but
I will say you picked a pretty good vehicle to go 60 grand.
What is it? What is it?
Toyota Tacoma, 4-wheel drive,
those
TRD
hold their value
Sport.
a lot better than most.
They put me in her, and I just loved her.
Did you have a trade-in?
Nah, my car was totaled, so I had a.
At least you didn't have any negative to roll into it.
No, I had a hefty. I think I had like 15, 20 grand I put down. So cash.
That's good.
But
what is your car payment? Can I ask? I mean, you're going to tell us your age. Tell us your car payment.
It's $850 right now. In May, because I'll like refinance it or whatever, it goes down to $4 because I can put it on my own credit and my own line.
Yeah,
whatever.
Tiana's paying $4.
But
And
my last car payment was $125, guys.
$125 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Her face went stone.
Well,
I need a raise.
I don't have
You just-
I don't have a car payment, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I tell people. I have a 17 Ram, bought it brand new,
Yep.
paid it off,
Oh, red.
and it's Big Red.
Yep.
That's her name.
Big Red.
And I love her. And if she ends up shitting a transmission or an engine, guess what?
I'm buying an engine.
Getting an engine and transmission,
Right.
putting it right in that truck.
Well, because this goes into buying a used car and buying somebody else's inherited problem. I tell people now, look, on average, we did a story way back, Chris, right before the end of the year, where people are keeping cars on average of 26 years.
Which is way higher.
That's beyond anything I've ever heard of, and I've been in this industry for over 35 years. Now, as we get into the concept that people are driving these as daily drivers and all this, then I love that. It's almost like nostalgia and bell bottoms and everything's coming back full circle, and put them back on the roads. They're safe.
Yeah.
They were made with real steel. And they don't have airbags, but you didn't need them.
That's true.
I mean, it's a big deal. You can buy all the new LED bright lights for them. You can buy backlit bulbs for in your dash to make it brighter. You can put the stereo with the monitor that you did in Pearl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get the old car modernized.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It just
100%.
makes a lot of sense to keep that car now. But I think that, Stephanie, you bought a truck that probably is going to hold a lot of value. Toyota has a lot of great resale value.
They do. You made a good choice in that.
I think you're going to
And
keep.
now I know someone to restore it for me as I get older and it gets older.
I'm going to be getting older, and we'll tell you about somebody down the road.
Yeah.
Well, you'll know someone.
Yeah, we'll know somebody.
Kenny knows everybody.